Oh, you're muted, Ash.
I was muted because I was coughing, and then I stopped coughing, and I was still muted. We are back. How's everyone doing? We feeling good?
Good. Yeah.
Sweet. So yeah, when we left off, we were hearing the whisperings from amongst the people, and that they're expecting Bean. They're here for Bean, or they're here for a person that like they don't know Bean's name, but they're clearly talking about Bean. But also they are completely wrong about who or what he is. So someone's been bending the truth in order to get them here. But also someone inside the bar wants your attention, Saf.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think when when she comes out and is like, "What are you doing?" Whatever. I'm pretty sure I give her a look like I'm not sure if you remember who you're talking to, because yeah, that tone doesn't interest me. But
Are you making a move there?
Yeah, I could do that.
These uppity kids.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
What would not be under fire? It would not be. Let's see.
I was wondering if it. Was wondering if it was maybe. I was wondering if it was maybe seized by force, or like if it was a take their respect back.
Yeah, is that a? I mean, I
don't know
don't
if
feel like
force.
it's a. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
I don't feel like
fair.
I'm going aggro. Like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Going aggro is always a good one.
But I mean, am I trying to go aggro on this person who's just like, hey, how are you? And
I mean, so
maybe
yeah, do you just want to reprimand, do you want to reprimand her verbally, or just give her a look?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I probably should. Probably am gonna reprimand her verbally. Okay. So, then yeah.
If you're reprimanding verbally, then you can just say what's happening, and I'm happy to just like follow that along and not need a roll. But like, if you're trying to get XP by creating rolls on sheets, then
like,
you then create a situation, right?
I'm sorry. It feels so like there are places where I feel like, oh, like for instance, trying to figure out I was like, oh, well, maybe I can roll cool by like going in and taking the bar from them and just diffusing the situation without talking about it. But then I guess that didn't. Yeah. So I think there are some places where I'm trying to figure out like where it is.
Cool is the hardest one to do. Cool is the hardest one.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that I'm trying to figure out is like how to get the three of us in the same room. And like that is, so there's a part of me that's like, oh, okay, well maybe I could make this more complicated, but it would probably be easy. It would probably be better to just give her a look and move on for the sake of like one day the three of us will be in the same room. Like,
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you want us to all three be in the same room, then you can say, hey, let's try and get us all in the same room so we can have a scene where there's all three of us there.
Okay.
And then we can do that.
Okay. Yeah. Then I think I'll just like be walking in, and I'm not changing my pace or anything. You know, just like, what are you doing? And just kind of give this look that is, it's not. It is less hot and more angry. Like, but not enough as if it was like this doesn't. I'm not gonna use my time for this, right? So I walk in.
No, but you're definitely giving her you're definitely letting her know that that's not acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
She does not react.
Mm-hmm.
She's not like, aw. She's like, fuck. Like she definitely has the fuck off. I like there are bigger fish to fry than you being upset that I'm Like,
Yep.
yeah, she definitely does the like, look around, there is a problem.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Like as this is happening, like another fight breaks out between one of the like Union boys and some of the like new people, like
Is
somewhere
this?
else that you don't have time to go and
Oh, okay. This isn't in the
piece
bar.
up.
Okay. Cool.
Not in the bar, just like as you're heading into the bar, you hear another one of
In
these
the
break out.
background somewhere. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. I will. I'll walk in and take a look around, kind of assess how things are doing. And I guess I'm imagining that there is somebody in particular trying to catch my attention. Somebody who sticks out from the norm.
What
Maybe.
does catching the attention look like?
Well, she's got her big sniper rifle like propped in a corner of the booth, which is already seems to be out of the norm. People just don't seem to walk around here brandishing huge guns all the time. And she's just like staring at the door that Saf comes through, and just like her eyes are just following him, like she's drilling a hole into his head with her eyes as he enters the space and moves around. So he would notice her sooner or later.
Okay. Yeah, I think yeah. So Saf would walk in, and obviously with it being his establishment and whatnot, like would notice that from the jump, but is not gonna walk straight over. Um, goes to the bar, asks somebody what is, like asking somebody if they, need a drink, that kind of thing, but is very aware that again the eye contact is continuing. So yeah, after a couple minutes of essentially just what doesn't probably feel to you like stalling or just creating the space, but essentially that's what he's doing.
Yep.
It walks over pretty casually and room's a little small for a gun that big, don't you think?
Whole town's feeling a bit small, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, it does seem to be going around a bit. Feel like I haven't seen you in here often.
I'm new, but I intend to be important very soon. Certainly to you.
That's that's be important to me. That's quite charming of you. I'm Saf. Well, I guess I mean we know each other. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting this point of the lore where it's like we know of each other, but we don't know each other.
Well, we met the one time very briefly.
Right.
And
So
I think maybe like names were exchanged, but that was kind of the extent of it, if I'm remembering right.
yeah. Okay.
But like a reintroduction seems appropriate still. Like we can keep rolling with that. That's the
I
vibe.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm Saf.
Yeah, people call me Wolf.
People call you Wolf.
And she just shrugs.
What do you call you?
I don't go around talking about myself too much.
Interesting.
Look,
Fair
I
enough.
can tell you're smart.
It's like, well, again, with a weapon like that, I can tell that you like to keep your distance. Apparently in more ways than one.
Yeah, exactly. Why be where they can get you?
Who's they? Thought you said you intend to be important. Are you that important already?
Well, I try to make sure that whoever I'm backing comes out on top and that I get mine along the way. And so I'm here to give you a chance to be that person. Because I've already had
I-
the Union boys try to recruit me.
Mm. Mm. Interesting offer, though. I'll say whether or not I'm offered, I usually end up on top anyway. And I think the eye gives this little like flicker when he says that. There's a little bit of turning up the charm.
Yeah, and she kind of smiles her broken and slightly unsettling grin.
I think when she does that, um, I I assume we're on the same page anyway. And yet, there's a part of me that feels like in getting that smile back, I like want to give a feedback that like I don't know if this goes into to seduce or manipulate someone realm. I guess why not? Because then you get to roll dice, and rolling dice are fun. But like, yeah, I feel like at that point, I imagine if this is a slightly if many people may find this an unsettling smile, this would be an opportunity for me to give feedback that would feel unique and good, right? This like, hey,
Sure. Yeah.
you know what? Like, no, this is I feel pretty charmed right now. This is the sentiment I'm conveying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make me feel special and wanted and all those things.
yeah. Is that
That would
Especially if
definitely
Toyota
work on
just-
Wolf.
yeah?
like Toyota just failed at doing that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I think that would be the thing. Cool.
Yeah. I'm not above being manipulated.
All right. So
Imagine Wolf thinks what Wolf thinks and what Wolf is. Right.
So yeah, you had a conversation with the Union boys, you say?
Yeah, it did a little job for them, but I mean, you would know better than I how they are. I didn't get the best impression of them.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking about other options.
So Saf sits down at another part of the booth and says, "Tell me more."
That big one. Beating his own people. You can't trust the folks like that. I've seen it go wrong too many times.
I feel like I feel like this problem has been a problem for a long time, one might say.
Guys like that tend to make themselves a problem and stay one until someone like me solves it.
Always can appreciate a good problem solver. And with each of these sentences, you notice them getting just like a little bit closer, you know, not uh not like physically, sidling over. I'm not imagining that it's like one of the round booths. It's like,
Yeah,
so
sitting
just
across. Yeah.
yeah, maybe you felt, how sometimes you feel like that. Did my pants leg move, or was that something? Was that touching my leg? Was that like? It's those kinds of things, but just peppered all over the place to the point where you can't tell like if there's actual interaction there or if this is just a weird. Did I imagine that? Was that did you touch my hand? Was that my leg? Like that kind of thing. I feel like that's something that Saf is very good at, is creating that space of like, I'm a little bit in your space but I want you to feel good about it, but also not sure that it's totally happening.
Yeah, it's like ambiguous and keeps you wanting more in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it certainly seems like his name's been coming up a little more often lately. So how long do you think you'll be in town?
How long's this town gonna last?
Oh, it's been here for quite some time. I have no reason to assume that it won't be here for quite some time more.
Yeah, and she like leans back and puts her arms kind of up on the booth and just kind of smirks at that. Doesn't say anything.
Do you feel differently?
Seen a lot of them come and go.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, can I get you a drink?
I mean, I'd take a drink, but what I'm looking for is a job.
Drink first. We can do work later. And so I think Saf gets up to go to the bar, and I'm sorry, remind me of the name of the person who came out and had something to say.
Toyota.
Toyota.
Toyota's job is technically to be a server, but really their job is to be a person that people want to come and see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm assuming that when I get up to get the drink, I talk with Toyota. Just and sort of a real quick, like, anything in particular I should know?
I mean, you were playing about Wolf.
About Wolf. If there's anything that Toyota would have assessed, or because I'm imagining again, like with the, and well, you tell me, but I'm thinking with the sort of look and that sort of like, what the hell are you doing, like, conveys to me that their working relationship may have some tension to it, but it is still a working relationship, even if he's like, this fucking asshole. Well, like,
yeah, there's like a rhythm that they settle into, and there's something to get done.
This is not that normal rhythm. This is
okay.
Toyota's like, I don't know, and withhold something from you. Like, you definitely know that that's not true.
Interesting.
And like, they can't help but like, she can't help but like look significant, like look at Wolf for a second, right? Like, it's so obvious she's lying. She's not. She's good at performing. She's not good at deceiving.
Right. Yeah. This feels like this feels like a can I read the situation again?
Yes,
is that
absolutely? Do you want to read the person or read the situation?
No, read the person. Yeah, I would like to figure out what's going on in her head.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna click that. Where is my character sheet? Here we go. One of these days I'm gonna figure out how to get Roll20. There we go.
Same, buddy. Same.
A quest we are all on. Yeah.
Rough.
Not this time.
Nope.
Why is my sheet's not showing up? Is on a 6 for a reader person? Is it ask one and?
It's all it says is on a miss, ask one anyway, but be prepared for the worst.
Sweet, wonderful. Go absolutely.
So I guess it'll be, what should I be on the lookout for?
Oh no, this is the other list. This is read a person.
Read a person. Oh, then we're gonna go with what does your character wish I'd do?
Oh shit.
Character wishes that you would fuck all the way off. Yeah, I think that would be. Yeah, sure. Let's run with that. That she's off balance. Saf wants information, but Saf would like to be personal and would like to figure out what is wrong with her. Yeah. With Toyota.
I think two things. Get rid of all these fucking people. Like there are all these people in town, and you do things and like, can you get rid of them before, right? Like she's like, she just wants everything to be normal and fine and not anything for just a few more days. And there's all these people here, and everything's crazy. And could you just be chill, but also maybe get rid of all these people?
Okay. Cool. Oh, okay. So, it doesn't necessarily give me a whole lot more information on Wolf, but that's okay. I'll make it work.
The few more days seems to involve Wolf.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, I'll take the drink back to Wolf, and so if you are intending to be here for a few days, have you found a place to stay already? This seems like a lot of people are new to town right now.
Yeah, there hasn't been a good spot for me. If you got somewhere I could lay up, that'd be good.
I do know a number of people. I try to keep my keep my connections well connected, one might say. Do you have much of a how are your connections here in town? It's not often somebody comes in looking for work with no sense of the land.
Yeah, there's somebody I used to know here, but she just shrugs, leaves it at that.
That you used to know.
Yeah, people change.
Them or you?
Both, I guess.
Hmm.
And
Interesting.
she looks sad while saying that.
Yeah.
Like she's been fairly like brash and confident, but there is this like clear set. She's not good at hiding it.
Okay. I think Saf pushes the drink over and has one of his own. And says to the changing times then. Like raises up to
She drinks with them.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about like I don't know how much I want to push this. It seems like the changing times can be a little tough to handle. It seems like it's maybe rubbed you the wrong way a little bit.
Look, I'd be fine if everything wasn't rotting out, breaking, or rusting apart all the time. It's this, and she just like knocks on the table. It's this stuff that lets me down. Otherwise, I'd be going strong. Just out there, and she like nods to the desert at large.
That is the problem, right? Oftentimes, parts that break down, we need somebody else to help us fix. I do happen to know somebody who can be pretty handy if you're in a pinch.
Yeah, and her like her expression just like drops. She knows where this is going.
There have been like so many spots that would be like a great cut, but I'm just like letting y'all choose when to like do the cutaway.
I feel like that's good. I feel like
because I think that's a great point to then cut to Lockheed, right?
Yep.
Sydney, do you want to do a thing, or do you want me to do a thing?
No, you still owe me a thing. I'm happy for you to take it.
That's what I was waiting. I was just checking you didn't want to do a thing. Do anything else first? Cool. Awesome. Yeah. there's a little tap on the door of your workshop, and someone says, "Knock, knock. Is there anyone in here? I'm looking for a Lockheed."
Yeah. I'm back here behind the piles.
We just see
Make
like
your
a
way
kid's
through.
like head pop up.
Yeah.
Cool. You see the character we know is Gams. This elfin what's it called when a child is taken away and replaced by the fairies?
I
Changeling,
don't
like
know.
this like changeling, otherworldly beauty of a person. Like their clothes are still like torn and like worn and all those sorts of things, but in just like this like lovely, well, like we would be like, oh yeah, that's fashion weathering in a factory, right? Like that's what we would interpret it as.
Mhm.
Like they are like smooth skinned, like contoured, like yeah, just like I'm picturing like someone who's probably Desi,
Mhm.
like South Asian, like gorgeous flowing black black hair and all these sorts of things, with the big dark eyes. And like and like you have that moment of being like, oh, like you're like not expecting to see that thing in your doorway.
Yeah, Gams is known to Saf. Is Gams known to me?
I don't think so.
Okay, lovely.
But yeah, I think Gams comes in and like lets themselves in through the door and like weirdly just like half dance walks in such a way that they just like effortlessly avoid every booby trap.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like while maintaining eye contact. And a little birdie told me that you were wondering that you were having some trouble sleeping.
Yeah, that's not what I would have called it, but I understand if that's how the birds are saying it. And there's like a little bit of, is this
The
birdie
bird,
thing the commonly shared metaphor, or is this like actually a bird? Like there's something
yeah,
going on.
right,
Yeah.
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 And like, yeah, Gams is like, they do love poetry in turns of phrase.
Hmm. Hey, look, uh I don't mean to be practical about this and kind of like indicates the amount of stuff that I'm working on. I mean to be practical about this, but I do have some stuff to do. So, what's what's going on? What can I do for you?
Yeah, cool. I think Gams is like, I travel a lot. I see a lot of things. I see that you're a researcher. Maybe I can help. And like every time they're speaking, they're stepping closer.
Mm-hmm.
They don't move closer unless like anytime that they have to break eye contact, they don't move from place. They're
Right,
only ever
right.
moving while they're holding eye contact.
Yeah, nice. I don't think I have like a. I think this is part of the thing. I don't have like an office or like a seat that I can offer or whatever.
No,
Got, like, that
yeah.
bench that I work on, and that's basically it. And I think like I probably have my own chair, that's crafted out of some cockpit.
I was going to say, do you have like a
seat.
work chair and a resting chair, maybe?
I think I have the one chair.
Uh,
That I've put some wheels on it so I can move it around between places. But yeah, I just like sit down in this chair that's been behind me, and I think of it as like one of those like ejection seats, right? It's like large and it has like steel sides to it that are meant to keep me in, and a section that is like designed to encapsulate the head. And I sit into it, and like it's a comfortable sit in this uncomfortable chair. And I say, look, I tend to be pretty hands-on about this stuff. If you got something that can help me, and I think like indicating to the piles is in like if you have a thing, if you have a physical object that can help me, I've got the space for it. But
I think their eyes sparkle with hands-on, and I think that's and like, do you allow them, like, because they're like going to get like, given that phrasing, I think they're going to like attempt to get to within the point where like you could reach out and touch them.
Yeah, so I imagine we have this this like workbench between us as like a physical barrier, and there's a lot of like comfort and affordances that come from like having this thing in between us of like, we're talking over a thing. And if Gams like steps around the bench or over or whatever, then that's when like that's my next trigger point of like, oh, we've changed this situation.
I think you like go to say like, I'm pretty like, if you're having stuff and you look away, and like there's no way they could have walked around it in that time.
Yeah, right. Nice.
And then they're like here, and they're like, I don't carry a lot, but I'm good with riddles, and I can help people think. And I think they're like, I don't know how responsive like Lockheed is to this in this like moment and time, but like this is pheromones, this is body heat, this is intentionally getting within the thing. I think like unless you're doing something, they're going to like attempt physical contact.
Yeah. I think that having them cross the threshold of the workbench is something that's like rare, right? It's a thing that we saw with Wolf, but probably didn't appreciate the gravity of it without the context. And having it happen here with someone that like isn't invited and I don't have this established relationship with, throws me off. And I don't have I don't like have a thing that I want to do here, but I'm sure when I do, I get this like act under fire feel about it. But yeah.
I was wondering about that, right? Like there is fire here, right? Like someone like this is someone else attempting to like seduce you.
Yeah, right.
And
perfect.
Like, yeah, this is someone trying to seduce you, and like to talk to Sydney. I'm like for Lockheed, while this is happening, once they're past the thing, like Lockheed starts getting like almost like forward flash memories of the two of them like physically entwined. Like quick flashes of like bodies against each other. And yeah, to Sydney as Ash, there are like I'm applying like there's the heat or the risk of this thing of like being seduced and being drawn into the physical. But the other thing that the other move that I am making here is giving you the opportunity to make them buy it from you, right? Like by like, or rather, like, are you going to give this away for free? Are you going to try not to have try to resist it, or are you going to get something out of it, right? Like take them up on their offer of answers.
Yeah, for sure. So I love this. Here's the question for you. I'm gonna trigger sharp because someone's highlighted it. So we're gonna try and read either the situation or the person.
Wonderful.
I will consider that. This is like it is now charged that they have
yes, absolutely.
across the thing. Would you like do you think we're triggering the act under fire in order to get to the reading move, or do you think that the
no, you can read before
yeah.
All
right,
like it's going to be there's like Gams is going to I have my thing that like where Gams will do a thing that then requires you to act under fire. I haven't done that yet. I'm setting up for. I'm announcing the future madness. Right.
I love it. I'm just doing a quick look over my two moves so that I can pick the one that's right here. Weirdly inconspicuous. Charged situation, charged person. Really interesting. All right. I want to. I know all the answers to that. All right, let's go for read a person. So sharp +0. Where do we end up? Okay, I'll take a 7 to 9.
Not bad.
So I get to ask you one. Character telling truth. What's the character really feeling? What does the character intend to do? How can I get? Going to be a how could I get your character to? What I'm trying to get to, I think, is like how can I reestablish leverage here, right? So the question is, what does your character wish I do? Because you came here to extract something. I know what that is. I can make you buy it. Yeah, what does your character wish I do?
I'm gonna like just for the sake of like playing honest. Are you sure that the question isn't how could I get your character to like because I feel like what do they wish I do might not potentially establish leverage, right? Like, do you want to create space,
I guess it's not what does your character wish I do, it's what does your character want from me, which is a different thing, right?
Yeah.
So I think how could I get your character to
give me answers before
negotiate?
This or negotiate. That's a
negotiate.
Yeah. Cool. Great.
Yeah.
You, as long as you are explicit and be like this person is not going to act without your consent. They're going to try and manipulate you into like wanting touch, right? So as long as you can be like, no, like as long as you can use your grown-up words, then they actually have to like this is a fae, right?
Yeah.
Like they can't break. Like if you just say, I don't want to do that right now, right? Like the problem is that they also have the ability to change what you want. So like it's the thing of like create the situation to support yourself, right? Like
all right. Yeah.
Like even if you just said, well, before we do anything else, let's do this thing, right? Like that would.
Yeah. I think I say like I normally cut deals over the bench, but sure. Why don't we talk? And I think
like
the emphasis on that talk is like
yeah. And Gams is like,
yeah.
as soon as you say I usually cut deals over the bench. Like Gams is like, oh, I'm so sorry, right? Like a rule has been broken, right? Like a social grace has been ignored, and they've been called out on it, right? So yeah, no, they're absolutely like, yes, of course. I heard you were doing some interesting research.
It's more trade than research, though I appreciate the difference might be lost on. And like, I look at games to like classify them in some sense. Sorry, what are games pronouns?
I've been using they.
Cool. I will continue. I look at them to like classify them as like, you know, people like you, but realize that I can't get a grip on like people like you are because games is not. Yeah. And so I appreciate
games is
lost
Zaf.
on. Yeah, right. Yeah. Maybe yeah.
Maybe Toyota.
Yeah, I appreciate. And like I think a little bit of like who Wolf used to be, not in the physicality, but in terms of like the fire, right? The spark, the like the connection, the this is cool, where people who like are different, but there's some sense of like wanting to be around each other, or at least the way that I used to feel about Wolf. And so yeah, there's that thing of like, and so it might be lost on people like you, but it's just raw experimentation.
I think yeah, Gams like takes the opportunity to like, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not an academic. Like implying that you are, right?
Yeah, right.
And that you know all these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think yeah, they say I heard you had questions about poetry.
No, and like
yeah, if you're having trouble sleeping, I could sing you a song.
Yeah, like this is all super ephemeral for someone who works at the ground level,
right? Yeah,
and so like I'm having trouble. Lockheed is having trouble passing like what is being offered, what is being asked. Like this isn't a trade in the way that Lockheed is used to.
This is
and so
this is so many girls hitting on me. Like before I worked out, I was trans.
Yeah, like it says, like I'm not having trouble sleeping. I'm having trouble figuring out what the and like actually here's a good one for you. Like it says, I'm not having trouble sleeping. I'm having trouble with my problems, and that's different. And like again, indicating these like piles in front, and says like these are real, tangible problems, and the issue is a problem never sleeps. And then like it's kind of like hit by the like their own phraseology.
The fucking the
Ugh.
antenna goes fucking wild.
Yeah, and I feel that, and like, there's an emptiness to it of like, oh, I was really hoping this was something simple, and now it's not. Righto, like, settles back into this chair, almost like melts into it, and it's like, I guess this is me with my arm thoroughly twisted. What's really at stake here?
Is this in character?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that because that's like such an impossible question for Gams to like answer. That's so good. Yeah, that's so good. I think Gams has to dodge it, right? Gams has to like go with but they can't lie and they can't not answer the question. I think you're like looks around the thing, the area, looks at you. You're hurting. I can help. You look tired. What happened to your knuckles?
It's probably the first time I'm realizing how like fucked up they are. Just like, it's an occupational hazard. The whole thing's an occupational hazard. This, like, indicating outward, right? Like, fucking defoliants and nukes and like trying to call up every memory that I have
great.
of
That's
apocalyptic nature.
like that is such an anchor for Gams. Gams is like, it's horrible. It's all horrible. Don't you wish we could just escape from it all? Just for a minute. We don't have to be here.
Well, what's the alternative? Strap on a mask and go get burnt up?
So I think like Gams's eyes flash with like tapetum lucidum, right? And I think now Gams is going to make the move that is going to require you to act under fire, because Gams is offering you like Gams is offering maybe an escape from your tiredness, maybe an escape from all of that out there. Maybe like, Gams is offering escape in any form you want. Right? And like, if that is setting yourself on fire, like, but like you just have to let them get close and touch and share the moment.
Yeah, right. I'm down for this, right? I am down.
I mean,
for
like
I
you can
am-
make the if you're like, I recognize this as a trick and recognize this is right. Like that's an act under fire, right?
Yeah, I recognize it's a trick. I don't know whether or not I care about it.
Yeah, right. That's the
Um,
question, right?
Yeah,
Actually, do you care that it's a trick?
Is there a like, I know that I'm seeking clarity in the offer, right? Of like what it means to be elsewhere or whatever. Because there's no I haven't killed myself at this point or whatever, right? Like I
No,
obviously
yeah,
want to be
obviously.
here and be around. There is something keeping me to this place. I'm anchored in some way. What like Yeah, I think that's the thing that like all right. Here's the act under fire is, I think, whether I get this question of clarity. That makes sense. Let's just do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
It'll be a 6. Fun fact, actually. That is a 6 that I rolled. Should be a 7 because I have +1 forward from my reader person. No?
Nice, love it.
No,
Cool.
no, you don't get +1 forward on reader person. You only get that on reader situation.
That's right.
So it's just a fail.
Six.
That's
Wait, but I thought that the reader person was supposed to be specifically distributed over the course of the
Read a person, you
conversation.
can ask the questions throughout the conversation.
Oh, so it's the
I just
But
went
it doesn't
hard.
give you
not the
bonuses to your
oh.
roll.
Yeah.
Sydney, may I propose an offer of help here?
Yes,
Ooh.
you may propose an offer of help.
Which is
I
at
love
this moment, there's just like the bang on your door of
Oh,
Wolf showing up, maybe with Saf,
I think that's a great
because that's
idea.
kind of where our conversation was going.
Yeah.
And it's
Right.
just like, it's
I
just
like
her obnoxious and very loud banging on your door that just like breaks the moment.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you
So
want to
I will roll to help
roll that? Yeah.
because it might not work, or it might just get me entangled in all of this. Good luck to us. If only our relationship were more functional.
I
also
tried.
rolled a 6.
I tried, dog.
I hate the, like, Wolf, you like, they don't hear you, like you bang on the door, no one answers, so you go in because they don't hear you, and you walk in on Lockheed with someone else. Like, just before anything else happens, Lockheed, think what you know now to be true, right?
Yep.
This is not like, you know that this is not the entirety of the world. It might be a simulation. It might be an experiment. It might be a something, right? And you know that, like, you've never really kind of like, traders come through with food, right? And like, and it all is like packaged, right? You know that angels provide that food and could take you away if you could just speak to them. Like, people can leave if you can speak to angels, right? The angels can take you out of this world to one that is like this moment of passion, but forever.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Right? That is a thing that you know and understand about the world now. Continue on with scene as Wolf rocks up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she comes in quietly and then hears sounds and therefore is even quieter given the nature of the sounds, and ends up just like looking at the two of them from a corner or whatever.
there's like two people, fucking rolling around or whatever. One looks like people do in porn, and one looks like people do when real people have sex.
And there's just like stunned silence from her for a bit, and then
Also, I'm just checking in, Sydney. Are we good?
We're good. We are good, and thank you for checking in. I am also going to explicitly ask you, because I have sex with people, they speak to me like things do. Hey Ash, who
That's
made
what I was
this?
going to ask. Yeah. Yep.
who made this is the question you're going with.
Who made this is the question I would like.
Do you need to roll for things speak?
Nope. They just do.
Not
As
when
if
it's this version.
Yeah, you just
basically,
do.
I think. Oh, as if I'd rolled a 10. So I get like 3 questions, but I'll hold some if that's cool with you. I
Yeah,
would
no,
love
that's
to know
fine.
who
Okay,
made
so
this.
your first question is who made this?
Yeah.
The angels.
Cool. Heck yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is tricky. Sydney.
You are complicating this so much for yourself, and I love it. I am a willing witness to your complications.
Well, like the thing is that you have a delusion now, right? Like, and so we have to understand things through an unshakable delusion.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure we can shake the delusion at some point.
Yeah. I think the best answer I can give is the things that made the angels made this.
Okay. Yeah.
That is a true answer. The things that made what we are calling angels here made this.
Works for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
then
you
you
can ask the other questions at any point moving forward.
Thank you.
You hear Wolf just say, "Well, that didn't take long." And then there's this like hiss of static from her voice box because she's fucking pissed, and it's just like ambiently setting off like a growl in it.
I think that like Gams is like because like is Saf's there as well.
Yeah, I was
aren't
gonna
they?
say I was like I'm also there, and I feel like Saf. Okay, because Saf also just gets randomly charmed by Gams, right? So probably
I mean that
also,
happened previously, yeah.
but I also feel like no, probably I think Saf is what. Well, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say you dodged the bullet in the last conversation.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I feel like probably see a thing there, but I'm trying to de-escalate. Like, does it look like is Wolf about to do a thing? Is
Gam? So what Gams does is like roll back into "Paint Me Like One of Your French Girls," and is like, "Saf, how lovely to see you." Like, it just does as if this is a casual conversation.
lovely to see me? Were you? It seemed like you were just in the middle of something. It's good to see you too, I guess.
Yeah, I think Gams is like, I wouldn't want to get in the way if you clearly have business, and like starts to get up to like leave.
No. Why don't you stick? I want to see if we can. I would like to. Does this count as a thing under fire? Where like I kind of would like to keep everybody here to talk through whatever the thing is that just happened. So kind of just like
That's very sweet.
Just maneuvering and be like, why don't you? Obviously, you're here. We're here for a reason. Why don't we all just have a conversation? Do you have no more chairs? But I mean, we can take a seat metaphorically, of course.
Ash, I'm more than happy to provide the fire that
Yeah.
is acting right here.
Yeah, if you want to say that like that's the thing is like unless there's, but yeah, absolutely. If you want to be the fire, then this can be act under fire.
Yeah.
Saf is the go. You are the aggro.
Yeah. All right. So I'm
So
gonna
like the risk here is not that is not like you're probably gonna be able to like the problem here being that like Gabs can tell that that like there might be violence if they stay.
Yeah.
So like
I think that like I'm trying to like I'm imagining putting a hand on like Wolf's shoulder, which also might be triggering the thing, but like oh, it's all right. This is obviously we're all here for a reason. Why don't we just take a second?
If you want to continue to have this conversation and have it not become
real cool.
the Wolf show, then yeah, it's acting under fire.
Great. Well, let's hope it's great. Okay, wait. When it said forward help interference, okay, no, but it should already take my.
Well, there we go.
Cool.
Oh, okay. Do I have a 5 experience. Do I do it now or at the end of session?
I mean, I think it's now if you want it.
Yeah, you can cash it in straight away, but just like after we resolve this.
Yeah, after we resolve this thing.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Great. I mean,
if you want to spend some time on it, it's a good thing to do afterwards, but you can like keep accumulating.
Cool.
Yeah.
You'll have to touch Gams.
No. Do. Yeah. Okay. That feels.
I'm gonna make them like.
Oh,
like,
that's the partial.
This wouldn't occur to Saf, but like narratively, you have never physically touched Gams before.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's going to be exciting.
Rookie.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just in trying to get everybody together, and it's like, okay, let's just.
So you can do it if you touch Gams. You can also choose not to.
I guess I will, because that'll make things interesting.
Cool. Great. Awesome. Wonderful.
Okay.
I'm gonna create a clock for that.
Oh, great.
Because I don't think that it is like I think that it's incidental. It's not Gams attempting to do the thing. So
Sure.
This is just Gams' ambient.
Gambient
power. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But you succeed. You managed to get everyone to stay in the same conversation.
Yeah, the growl from Wolf just like drops to like audible. Like she's still doing it, but people can't hear it across the room. And she's just standing there like completely stiff as a board.
Okay. Yeah. So I just like let's all just take a moment. We're obviously all here. What a coincidence that fate brings us all here in this small, potentially booby-trapped office. We'll just keep things very calm, right, everybody? So
Gams like languishes like comfortably.
So why don't we I guess Wolf and I came here to discuss some potential repairs. It sounds like repairs of a number of types might be in order. What what were you two talking about?
Oh, and I look over at Gams, and I will ask you, Ash, who handled Gams before me?
I'm trying to do the math.
You don't have your OSR Google spreadsheet that tells you where every character was at any particular day.
Can I be a little bit interpretive and creative here?
Sure.
I think the things speak like flash that you have is of Gams walking through a field of wheat, running their hands along the wheat heads, and then those wheat heads all marching across the petrified forest like lake to here. Like that crowd of people that have arrived.
Yeah.
Like in like either directly or indirectly.
Yeah.
Does that feel like an answer for you?
Yeah. I think the like question that Lockheed's trying to get from it. I just think it's a fun question. I think from Lockheed, they're trying to figure out like. Usually people go to Saf first. Like, has Saf dealt with this person? Like that sort of feel out. And I think the vibe I get is like, no, I am the first person since Gams has come into the settlement.
So let's be specific. Because Gams didn't touch Saf.
So two things are on the cards here. One is that yes, absolutely, like that's a perfect. Second thing is the question is not who touched, it's who handled, and that is a different.
Right. Okay. I'm happy for Lucky to have both bits of information. Right.
Yeah. Sure. Send them.
The
second bit of information being that like the answer is no about Saf, which is
so the answer is recently they were wandering among the wheat fields gathering the harvest, and drawing it here, and then when they what's the word I want? When they got here, they also interacted with, but weren't like directly handled by, not in the same way. They didn't gather up.
Yeah.
Like so they have gathered up you, right? In the same way that they were gathering up the harvest. They interacted with or were handled by in some way. I want not like a bosun or like the person who manages a granary.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Interesting.
Which is how they see Saf, right? Like Saf is a provider of food and sustenance, a storer of goodness. Whether that goodness is literal food or people.
Saf is the grain silo in which I intend to drown.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, that's the answer that you have is that understanding of like the gathering up and then the interacting with. I mean, realistically, what that interaction was the handing of the grain over to the silo master person, right?
Yeah. Yeah, rad. Good shit. I'm into it.
Where were we before that?
Saf had just asked Like, what were the two of you talking about to Lucky?
Oh, and Gam's response is birds and poetry.
Yeah, and like Lockheed, I guess, like shrugs in that. Yeah, that's a true statement that gives you no information to go on, kind of way.
So I have the everybody eats, even that guy. Is that meant to be? Is that something that I could use in the moment to intuit a thing? Or okay, I don't know if I needed to like send out for information, that kind of thing. Yeah, I feel like I kind of want to dial in on Gams, because like I feel like I would catch that, like, this was not just talking about poetry, but trying to figure out how to navigate this conversation probably needs a little bit more than what I'm adding to it right now. Can I do that?
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Hell
Oh, well,
yeah.
Well, okay.
Fine.
Numbers.
Decent rolls.
All right. So it says, when you want to know something about someone important, roll plus hot. On a hit, you can ask the MC questions. I get 3 of them, so I might want to hold a couple. But I would say, how do I get to Gams either physically or emotionally?
Simply allow them. Both of those are things that they would seek out. Even the slightest hint, they would.
They would jump
Okay.
right on that.
And
But
then
not because you're Saf.
yeah, like, then I'm also going to ask, how are they doing? Are they like, what's up with them? Because that feels like there's something going on internally.
Oh, they are a if I were a 2024 like psychological assessment and like looking at this person, I would say it's someone who has an addiction, and that addiction has also then triggered like psychosis, right? Like they are an addict and they are not on this fucking planet.
Oh, like, oh,
I think this is a massive moment for Saf, right? Like
wow.
because Saf likes to
As-
like Saf necessarily needs to kind of see people as these very human, like understand people's human passions and like and like understand people to be like Saf,
mm-hmm.
right? And this person is not like Saf. This person maybe once was, or maybe who knows, but like this person is on a completely other operating level. Like again, that flash of tapetum lucidum, the charming smile that you realize is like a completely false, like
Mm-hmm.
doll's smile, and at the same time the like grin of a hunter, like that manic friendliness.
Right.
You're like, oh, this like they're pretty, and you don't. Then it makes you not notice that they're like crazy.
Right. Right. Okay.
Um,
That's
and like they just desperately like they know they're crazy, and they desperately need to not like I'm not crazy because like people sleep with me,
mm-hmm.
right? And, like people don't sleep with crazy people.
That's wild. Because I feel like that is that's a very different way for Saf to process who Gams is, kind of permanently.
It's the first time you've caught Gams off foot, right? Like this is
Yeah.
the first time you've not been the person. Like Gams always is the person who invades your space.
Right. Huh. Yeah. So I guess in that case, yeah, wow. So I think Saf kind of looks and sees this sort of like the that there was obviously an interaction here, and trying to get Lockheed one-on-one. It feels like Saf is able to see some of the I don't know if you have that, like maybe Venom relationship ish things, you know, where you walk in and you see and you're like, oh, that's the same move you use on me.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't feel like now it feels like a move, you know, because you can
not just a
recognize
special
it's
thing between the two of you.
exactly. And so it's like, huh. So poetry. That's interesting. What is there a particular poem you're interested in, Gams?
Can I come back to that in just a second?
Yeah.
Because I need to actually there's a thing I want to just quickly look at while, so if there's anything
So I think
just the conversation, I'll come back to the answer for that.
yeah, I think Saf looks at Lockheed, and it tends is still sensing all of the the anger from Wolf. Is like, huh, do you two have something you need to talk about? Lockheed,
Yeah,
The
like
answer-
Lockheed has eyes locked with Wolf and is like, I don't know, do we?
Just to interject, the answer to the poem question was stopping by woods, which like is by Robert Frost, but like the poem is called Stopping by Woods.
Okay.
Yeah, Lockheed asks that and is looking at Wolf, and she is like dead still. And her eyes are locked on theirs. And it's like that moment before a predator animal just like jumps on you and tears your throat out and thrashes around until you stop moving. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's right at the edge of that moment. And she is just barely holding it together.
I feel like Saf is like a large part of that.
Yeah, if Saf weren't in the way,
Yeah.
yeah, who knows how messy this would be. But also, like, why is she bothering to hold it together? Even
Mm-hmm.
is maybe a
Mhm.
little bit weird to Lockheed in that moment too. Of like, why isn't she just freaking out?
Yeah, that's the. I was thinking to myself. I'm like, are you going aggro here from I like, what's the thing? I think in this moment of us staring at each other, I'm gonna read you. That's cool. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think she's a
You're
pretty
welcome.
open
You're welcome
book
to
to Lockheed.
interfere. That's it. Okay, cool.
No. If
Uh,
anything, I'd be helping you.
All right, which is also very cute. I'm gonna take the 8 and say that question is, because this is interesting to now put this into an actual question. You read a person in a charged interaction. Yeah, right. Give it to me. What's your character really feeling? This is my Story Brewers monologue token that I'm passing to you. I think I've already made that joke on the stream, but this is my monologue token passing to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like she doesn't. No one else really treats her as human or relates to her as a person. It's always transactional with everyone else, and like you, the one person who like maybe actually could see through that and was kind to her or whatever else, recently looked at her like she was a thing, a broken thing that was tiresome. And she thought she was over it and was like, no, I'm done with Lockheed. I am an island. No one can hurt me ever again. And then she sees this and is just like, still feels betrayed.
Oh no,
Despite
I'm
that.
hurt again. Yeah.
Yeah. Like was clearly not
the
over
walls.
it.
Yeah.
And now is deciding whether it would be better to just kill Lockheed so that she never had to feel any of those things again.
Yeah.
Or
solid.
if it would feel really good to kill whatever the fuck Lockheed just slept with, whatever that is, this pretty thing that is so completely the opposite of her. Also, that really, you're into pretty things now? I thought you were a practical person. Like, all these kinds of things going through her head.
Yeah, so good.
And yeah, she's like dead still. You can see that under her coat, like her hand is on her shotgun. She's like really thinking about it. She's ready to go.
Yeah, all right. Lockheed says to you, it's your call, Wolf. Yeah, I guess Wolf. I was like, do I settle on a fun nickname for you here? And I was like, yeah.
Now's not the time to try out a new pet name.
Yeah. now's not the time to flex on stuff. Yeah. And like, you're armed. I'm probably not. You're in the position of control here, and both palms up in a gesture I'm sure you've seen and ignored 1,000 times, says, it's your call, Wolf. Like, we can talk about it, or you can shoot someone about it. I just want to know which way it's going.
And I think she like goes to try to say something, and her voice box just like flares into a really loud tone and then like crackles, and she like is surprised by this, and there's like a moment, and then she like tries to say something and no sound comes out, and then she just like turns and kicks the nearest object as hard as she fucking can, and there's like what would have been a scream but is instead just a long heavy exhale that doesn't, create a tone because there's no vocal cords to do it. And she just like goes still again, but like turns away and goes still. And Lockheed, you probably recognize it. Like she's probably crying.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't push that. When you push Wolf when she's crying, people tend to end up getting shotgunned about stuff. Yeah, Lockheed says to you. Yeah. Anything like northwest of where you are, pick away. Shit's useless. And like that shit's useless is broad. It's referring to your inability to have this conversation and your inability to speak and all of the stuff around you and like everything.
Yeah.
This building is full of shit that doesn't do the job that it's supposed to do. So it has to be forced to do a different job. I'll switch my eyes to the Saf. Like
Gams is watching this like it's a fucking movie, like
Yeah.
Michael Jackson popcorn gif.
Right.
Fucking what? Saf, what?
Talk to me like I'm the one fucking up.
You
Okay.
rocked up in here, right? This is I'm here, I'm doing things, I'm Working for some definition of work.
I don't know that you want to talk about doing things right now. And it's just like, I just came here with who I now know is a mutual friend to try and get some. Apparently, there's lots of repair that needs going on. But seeing that Gams is here too, it sounds like perhaps there's something larger we should be addressing. I'm guessing, Wolf. I'm guessing you might not want your voice box prepared just right now, right? And it's like trying to make space for Wolf to do something other than just make the direct eye contact.
Oh yeah, I mean she's turned away at this
Yeah.
point. Like, yeah, she's closed off. So
Okay.
you can safely ignore her for the time being.
Okay. So
I don't want
I
to.
think Gab says, I think she's sulking.
There's an immediate reaction from Lockheed, which is defensive here, right? Like I can.
Cool, sick,
know
great,
and
wonderful.
And so I snap to her and like finger outstretched. I'm like, I think like there's a snap of like, I don't think you want to. And as I do that, I'm going to ask you the question, Ash. My last question, which is,
I think Josh also still has one.
I do.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
cool, rad. Mine is, what's wrong with this, and how can I fix it? Is it shooting? Because I'll shoot.
Yeah, I've got a magazine full of solutions for you.
What's wrong with this? I think this reveals that I think you no longer like. I think you work it out, right? Like this piece of information that I gave you just before. You're
Mhm.
like, this person's crazy, right? The things that anything that think I've learned from them is nonsense talk, right?
Yeah.
So like you had that insight from that like felt like this incredibly deep, like getting intimate with Gams is like seeing God, right?
Mhm.
And being like, oh, I should
But
change my ways, right?
Yeah,
You get
but
this
it's a
deep
lie.
understanding of the world is very different to
Mm.
what you thought it was, and now
Yeah.
you're like, oh no, that's the crazy,
That's
right?
yeah.
Your brain can just make the feeling of profundity. It doesn't need to actually have realized something profound. And that's what Gams gives you.
God,
Exactly. I mean,
can you write a game about that?
I'll try.
you see, there's a Darren Brown special where he makes a woman who's an atheist, like pretty staunch atheist, and he just like engenders a situation where he like creates a full come to God moment where she fully, like he has like 20-minute conversation with her or something. I can't remember what it is, but like just uses mentalism to create this. And like I remember the same thing of like being in the church and being like, oh. I joke to my friends at work and things like I can make you believe in Jesus if I needed to, right? Like, like I can create that. I can
like
at least
a
make you
Maestro
feel like
D
you've
move.
encountered God.
It does sound like a Maestro D move. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
very much the
really.
vibe, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we're all friends here.
Um,
I'm gonna make that feel true, even if it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so like this person is like they like
a different reality, all of their own, that is not
yes.
moored in the material world that the rest of us are.
So it's like answers, and I'm going to give you two answers here, right?
Sure.
There is a way that they could see the truth, right? because like if they were confronted, like they're like you got from them the thing of like there is a way out, right?
Mhm.
So if they were to take the way out, whatever that is, that would fix them
Mhm.
because they would learn the truth of whatever the way out is. Or put a bullet in the bedpan, squish.
Yeah.
Like this is not a person who has who is sometimes here and sometimes not. They are gone.
Hmm. Yeah.
And they are making and they are bringing other people into it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's perfect, right? Like, I point an accusing finger. I see that smile. I get that sense of like uh unrestrained deceit, and like I feel like I've been lied to in like a very, and I've had this profound moment that has been ripped away from me. And yeah, I just open a drawer on the workbench that I'm still behind. I pull out my pistol and I just fire.
Cool. This person is not offering resistance.
Heck yeah.
So,
Look at that baby.
um,
I don't know
yeah,
what the stats are for these.
so it's like there is no resistance here unless someone else wants to interject. This is just a killing.
Oh, I feel like, yeah,
It
I
feels
feel
like
like,
Saf would.
yeah, I feel like Saf would probably not want the blood spilled, but I can't. I would say that perhaps I am introducing an energy of don't shoot. So like I don't know if there's like the opposite of help.
There
If it
is
would
the
be
opposite
like
of
a
help.
hindrance.
Mhm.
Yeah, there is.
Yep.
Yeah. So I would probably offer that.
We've
So
run into we've run into a problem, which is that if I'm not rolling dice, hindrance doesn't have a good mechanical effect, right? And so we need to
Oh,
okay.
no,
then look into. Oh, sorry, you go.
in this situation, you're going on so because they're not offering any
Mhm.
any resistance, right? It's as if you rolled a 10.
This is the sucker someone
Sucker someone.
subclause
Oh,
of
right.
going
Okay.
aggro.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, since the victim doesn't have the option to cave, a 10 plus means they have to take the harm.
Okay.
But
So,
presumably Josh could interfere and
Yes.
bump that result down
yeah.
Into it, and what happens on a 9?
into the 7 to 9 range, where then Gams gets the options, right? Of
Yeah.
get the hell out of your way, barricade themselves securely in, give you something you think they want, or tell you what you want to hear, back off calmly, hands where you can see. So there's this like,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
swing it into that result category.
Okay.
Which, does that seem fair, Sydney, as a way to parse this? Does that make sense, or am I?
I'm also gonna check in with Josh because I wanna like highlight Josh. Is that I wanna think about like, sure, obviously your character would want to interject, but I'm just giving you the opportunity to be like, wait, is that the story I want to tell, Josh? Do I think that's the most interesting version? Am I interested in what happens? Because I think there are interesting outcomes either way. But I just want to like, this is a great example of
Sure.
what would my character do versus what's the story I want to tell. What am I most interested in?
Okay. Yeah, let's no, okay. We'll let it go.
Because then you get to be the person who watches a murder.
Like, yeah, which
Yeah, I will put cards on the table, which is that like what I want to do is be an emotional, volatile
Right.
instigator here, right? I want to pull the pistol and I want to fire. I don't really care about the outcome, and that is both me, Sydney, and also Lockheed does not care about the outcome. Lockheed is doing this because they feel impotent and they want to hurt someone that hurts someone they care about, and like that's the whole of that story. And so if we want to be like, we love Gams as a character, let's like
exactly.
into them, move on, like then that's okay. If you want to, So I'm giving you
I'd say. Oh, go ahead.
For me as a GM, either one of these spirals in very different directions, which are very interesting.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's just down to what Josh wants.
I guess I've never played a character who watched murder before. That feels weird. Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't. Today doesn't have to be that day, right? It's
it absolutely does not.
Yeah.
This is a an amoral question, right? There is no right answer here.
Right.
There is only what you find fun.
I think. I think. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Yeah. It's a 10.
I feel like there are so many moments in us playing like with this game with this group where I feel like I'm like I have these two degenerates and I'm like, hey, let's take this innocent, wonderful, like lovely person and introduce them to like our absolute corruption.
The sickos who just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah, exactly, with consent, right? Like,
right, of course.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So, Sydney, describe this for us. What do we see on camera?
Like, this is a holdout pistol, right? So this is like this small thing with like a tiny chamber. I imagine it's probably like put together with like a few different weapons, so things aren't the same color. So the barrel looks like it's from a revolver, and the stock or the hand grip, I guess, on a pistol it looks like it's from something more modern. And it has this real like it looks like a whole complete piece, but it looks inconsistent. It has been well put together, but it has still been put together. And so it's not like, all out duct taped or whatever. It's just a thing that has been made of pieces. As to is Lockheed. And we see, like, I think it's smoky and dirty, and it fires off. I actually love the idea of it firing off like two rounds. It has one in the chamber and one in a like stored, and that's all it has on it. And it fires off both rounds, and like it gets the smoke like clouds over Lockheed's face, and they like with their mouth set in this angry, almost like fangs bared wolf-like sort of look. The smoke like clouds over, and when the smoke like fades away from Lockheed's face, so too has like that immediate anger, and now it's back to that like rock hard stoic unemotional, I guess, presentation, with the eyes like set in that same determination that we see when Lockheed fidgets with things on workbench.
As soon as they are, as soon as the light leaves, leaves the eyes of Gams, like, I don't know that it's a big focus, but in the background, the Morse code starts up.
And is that what the scene or the moment we want to end on?
Yeah, I think that's a good place to call it. I just wanted, I like, are we good to call it there? Because I think that's a very like nice. Yeah.
Yeah, where
all right.
Time is a thing, and also
yeah,
that's
exactly.
a good moment. So yeah, this
yeah.
Fun.
Just want to catch is like that all good vibes for you, Josh?
I'm processing, but I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
Too easy. Yeah, this is set in conversation, not in stone. So
Yep.
if this changes in the time between, the cool thing about small holdout pistols is there's lots of reasons they can miss. There's lots of reasons they can not achieve an effect, right?
And I love that, in the TV show version of this story, this is definitely the kind of thing where there's like the smoke and, you see Gams is like laid out, but it's not clear if they're dead. The credits start rolling. We hear the Morse code playing, but it's unresolved until the next episode and we clear everything up. Because we can all think about it and decide how we feel.
Yeah.
If anything changes.
Yeah, I think that and to be clear, I think it's I'm doing more in from a gameplay perspective. I appreciate asking the question and trying to figure out how I feel about things. And it is one of it's interesting how it feels different to be in combat and commit a murder, which is a thing that happens on a super regular basis, and then to just be in conversation and
then someone just cold-bloodedly and suddenly is dead.
Yep. For a character who got lines, right? So there's just stuff that I'm processing there, but I appreciate the conversation, and I think it's still going to be very interesting to see where we take our story. So
and there are a bunch of places where I was I need to in this session where I was are we cool? Are we good? Right? Because there's a bunch of things where it's pretty emotionally intense and potentially for instance, the whole thing with Gams is we were cool. We don't there's no sexual violence in this thing, but there's the thing of coercion and
the very notion of seduction implies mismatch of agency there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I also think it's telling that in games, as you said, Josh, that games where combat happens a lot, it's usually framed as the only option or the only lever that you have to pull is I'm a fighter, I can roll plus sword, and that lets me kill the evil necromancer that's otherwise going to destroy the world or whatever. This is very much a person making a character. So a person who does not really exist and have any edges, making a decision to do a thing that they did not have to do.
Right.
Lockheed absolutely did not have to shoot anyone, and the fact that they did is a statement who that character is and what they care about and that sort of stuff in the way that subtracting hit points would never be. And I think that gives it that weight that you can sit with and assess on. And
also I think the question about what verbs do you have access to is really interesting. One of the things that I think about a lot is this idea that in video games often it's I have a problem and the world is there are problems and complications in the way, and part of that is people. And so if I kill the people, the world becomes simpler, right? I have easier access to my goal, right? I have less problems after killing a person, right? In most games. Whereas this is not going to something like Apocalypse World absolutely creates the situation where killing a person never makes your number of problems go down. Which I really love. I love that it does just be you have these moments where people do incredibly people be people, right? Sometimes they do a murder and we're not excusing it, right? We're let's look at that. What's going on, right? And I think the reason that I wanted to give you, I wanted to have that conversation, because I feel is that when we are consuming the media that we usually consume and games and stuff, there is this default assumption of heroism right? And this default assumption of like if I'm killing someone, it's because I have to or because it's righteous or whatever. And if someone's going to do a bad murder, like I'll try and stop them, right? Whereas like there are in the world like thousands of times a day someone just is like, well, I'm not gonna interfere in that mugging, right? Like
Mhm.
I don't want to also get killed.
Right.
Or maybe you just don't like. There's the bystander effect where you just don't think to act and all these sorts of things. And there's something very interesting about like choosing to be like, oh, this is not. That's like for me. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, right? Like this is not a and a hero saves the day moment, right?
Right.
Mhm.
That's really
We're telling a different story here.
yeah. Which is also a hardest, like a kind of slightly emotionally harder story to engage with.
Mhm.
But I think that's part of what's really great about like these kinds of games, especially.
Yeah, absolutely.
Monster Hearts creates a lot of these sorts of situations for me, not in as far as like murder very often, but like where you're like, oh, this person's terrible, right? Like,
Yeah, characters behaving badly often.
yeah, exactly. And like it's really for me it feels like doing a little bit. For me it feels like deprogramming, right? For me it's like, cool, great, we're not telling the same like heroism story that kind of underpins the war machine for me, which I really like. But it's also like, yeah, but I also have morals, so like it's uncomfortable, which is really interesting.
Right.
But yeah, cool.
I mean, this is a little bit of what play to find out means at the player level, which is like playing to find out what happens when you take this character who represents a person or represents an idea of a person in a very complex pressure cooker scenario, and like the play to find out is, I think I believe this, or I think I'm willing to do this, but what if those situations change? And like, then what? How does that unravel? And so there's a thing of like, I don't know how I feel about Wolf, and then a thing happens that I get to like play toward that gives me a very clear like thing of how I feel
Mhm.
and lets me display that in a way. Yeah. Which like for me feels I want to draw a really thick line between honesty and truth here, and say like, to me it feels like a much more honest way of playing.
Mhm.
But let us never forget that like that's what my character would do is not a true statement, is never a true statement.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It is, yeah. So like there is always a thing of like of being able to negotiate who that character is into a way that is fun to play with, that makes them a fun toy. And
Right.
like Lockheed is a toy that I get to play with, and hopefully, we all get to play. We all get to up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a really interesting differentiation between sort of like a truth, which I guess you could then use as a justification for bad conduct in the space, because you're like, oh, that's what my character would do, and it's like, no, that's not actually true. Like, yeah, there's there's no black people in medieval, like there are no dragons,
right?
they're
Yeah.
So I think that's a really cool distinction to make, that it's honest, it feels true to the character. And I think that like, I think Saf, should we find out that the GAMS is no more, I can already see some of the implications narratively, but I think also just like, I imagine, though Saf may be the Maestro D and tied up in a bunch of shady stuff, I don't necessarily assume that murder is a thing that he is too directly in. So I think, yeah, there are probably some ways in which the, Wolf and now at this point, Lockheed have both shown that there's an element to their connection and understanding of each other that like Nope. Saf's on the outside of this one in the multiple ways. So figuring out how this party works together is going to be interesting as the sort of next part of the plot comes along.
I really like this sort of like I'm interested to see in what ways does this like change Saf's perception of these people or how the world works, right? Like I in my like thinking about it, this is a naked person holding a gun putting 2 bullets in another naked person.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
That's rad.
I definitely forgot about that too. Wow.
This whole scene is just very upsetting and messy.
Wow.
Like, there's something about like, to me there's something really interesting about that, because like Gams is this weirdly beautiful, like unnaturally beautiful thing, and like Lockheed is a person with a person's body that like has hair in weird places and jiggles in strange ways, right? Like you like there's a version of this where like you go to the DVD credits and you get to watch a slow-mo shot of the like pressure wave jiggle across Lockheed's body from the gun from the firing of the gun. Right? Like
it's humans, baby. Yeah,
exactly. Like again, we're talking about that thing of like interrogating the ugliness is really like
and if it is a fun thing for you, if there's something you would like to do, there's a space where like you interrogate the ugliness of Lockheed here, Josh, like that Saf interrogates and like very specifically, I am super okay with like Lockheed being held fast for this, because you can't just go around killing people. That's not how communities function.
Right.
But also, like Wolf and Lockheed very obviously have this history of violence that like you're not connected with, and so like you probably can't, but also sometimes you can, and there's a lot of weird stuff around that I'm super okay with, like Lockheed being challenged on. This was not a well thought out thing. This is an emotional reaction.
True. Cool.
Well, at the end of the session.
Yeah, shall we quickly do our hex?
Oh, what a fun!
Sydney, who do you think knows you better or worse?
I think Saf knows me worse.
Worse. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's because this is gonna guide what you think of me in some way. Well, this is gonna guide what Saf thinks of me. And I'm just taking that extra step away to like be comfortable with that. And I don't think this is who Lockheed is. Like, I think this is is a very unusual thing. And so like this guiding your knowledge is, you know me worse.
It's misdirection in a sense.
Yeah. So you take -1 on your sheet.
Okay. It's at 0 now.
Heck yeah.
Wolf, who knows you better or worse?
I don't think Lockheed knows me better. I think our relationship doesn't fit within the hex paradigm at the moment. It is in some kind of super state. So I'm going to say that Saf does know me better. Having seen,
I think seeing like that vulnerability from Wolf.
This is like Lockheed made me vulnerable in a whole bunch of ways that I wasn't signing up for, all in a row here. And so it's like laid out a bunch of my shit for Saf to see.
Like Saf's experience of this is, oh, that person I saw the other day, they wanted to talk to me. I'll go and talk to them. Oh, they have a problem. Let's go and talk to my friend who can help them with the problem. Turns out they used to date, and like we walked in on them fucking someone, and then they shot, and then they murdered the person they were fucking, like while naked. Like, Saf's had an afternoon.
It's been, I was gonna say, it's been quite the day.
Damn.
Should have really just stayed and served the drink.
Session Session 3, baby.
I would say probably Wolf knows me better. I feel like that was a good
Cool.
conversation at the at the establishment, and should might have been laying it on a little thick because that's the habit, but I think pretty consistently Saf is interested in maintaining community, and did not understand that was didn't know this was going to happen. Wow, those dice really were not friendly.
Yeah.
And I think too, for Wolf's experience of that, she was like going to staff thinking like, oh, this is another like of the local warlords. This is like there's a 3-way power play here happening between the 2 guys I just worked with and then this other person. But that's not actually how Saf positions himself at all. And so she's reevaluating like what that means. Yeah, which is cool and flips things for her in a big way.
Can we also just like note down that Saf, you still have one question that you can ask about
Gams.
About very good.
Right?
Maybe that's a good opener for next session.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Cool. Awesome. Is that all of our history?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Wonderful. Should we do some sign-offs then? And
sure.
Let's start with Sydney.
Oh, I'm deep in which move from another playbook I'm going to take for next session. We'll talk about that later. It's a pleasure to be here and to be here with such wonderful people. My name is Sydney Icarus. You can find me at waxwings.com.au. And I write stuff there under 2 separate blogs. So enjoy it. Enjoy finding your way around that horribly laid out site. It's a real like treasure trove if you can dig for it.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that's amazing. Josh?
Yeah, I'm Josh. I run IntelliGame. You can find that at wow, it's like I don't know where I stream anymore. Twitch.tv/IntelliGame. And yeah, I'm trying to get into solo RPGs. That's kind of a big interest for me.
That's fun.
Yeah, I want to play solo RPGs and then journal the stuff, but then turn them into like actual like short stories or novels. So we're gonna see how some of that works out.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome.
That's me. Mm-hmm.
I guess that leaves me. I'm Andrew. You can buy Girl by Moonlight and play it, and keep an eye on Andrew Gillis at Blue Sky, because I will have a thing in playtest soon, brackets TM, at some point in the next like 6 months or something. But there's another game in the works here that I'm hoping to show people soon.
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
I've been Ash. I've been your GM for today. You can find me at Blue Sky and online at Acegiak, ACEGIAK. And we're wrapping up Generation Zero. Final update is coming out soon, TM, in capitals. It's currently heavily discounted on the Steam. So if you want to check out Generation Zero and get the lowdown on it before the big final story update, wrapping up the narrative, then now would be an amazing time to do that. But in the meantime, it's been lovely hanging out with you all. This was an amazing session, and it's so lovely to have everyone in the audience here with us. Yeah. Until next time, we'll catch you later. Bye.